Hello all, and episode. Can't remember it all. Welcome to another episode of In-Car Series, Season 3, Episode 3. That's it. Season 3, Episode 3 of the In-Car Series. Welcome to it. I'm just on my way to Edinburgh today. I've stopped at a lay-by just short of Perth. And I'm going to be going across the Friarton Bridge and taking the M90 route, direct route to Edinburgh, because I've got quite a bit to do today. So I thought I'd do a wee in-car. I've pulled in at by here, as I say, it'll be a pretty straightforward road. So you'll get a wee bit of the view of you'll get the view there at that corner of the journey. It's just the A90 and the M90 to Edinburgh. So I'm going to go there for today. So I've got to go. Got to get going to Edinburgh, so I'll leave the camera on the in-car view. I haven't really rehearsed or thought of anything. I was just thinking there when I was going along and the videos that I've made, and I haven't done an in-car series for a wee while, so I thought I'd do another one today. So I just literally stuck the camera on record and then just winging it. So I'm going to have to go. On the A90 Dundee to Perth. Later on today I'm going through to Kildinbeath race wall. The race wall raceway, what's the banger racing? It's the 2 litre bangers. I'll be making a video of that as well, so stay tuned. Actually, I don't know what order I'm putting them on. I think I'll put the in-car series up first and then I'll make the video for the bangers and put that up later after this. So, but again, it depends on what order you watch it in. But that's my plan, or part of my plan for today, is to do visit the bangers later on. I've got to go to Edinburgh just now, so I've got things to do. I'll visit a friend through there. Actually, when I'm through there, I might change the spark plugs on my car, because as I mentioned in my other episode, the in-car series, I'm going to get the engine on my car reconditioned. It's because it's burning too much oil. Now, it's not the particular car, my particular car, that's doing it. It's the design of the engine, I believe, from the research I've done. It's the oil control rings for the piston rings. Oil control rings on the piston rings that are the weak point, a design flaw. So the research that I've come across suggests, and I do know that my car does burn far too much oil, so because of that, the spark plugs fall up quicker, too quick, and therefore they start to misfire under certain loads. Like running 6 speed, going up a brake, but when it's hitting about 80, 75 to 80, it starts to misfire. But it's not doing it just now, but I know that that's the cause. It must be clearing sometimes, but so I'm kind of like saying, well, I've got a big holiday coming up later on at the end of the month. I'll go down to Wales, so I'll be making a video of that as well. It's my holiday, so I'll get the plugs done for sure, definitely before that. I was to say I might do them when I visit my mate at his bit. It'll not take me long to do that. I've done a video actually showing about how to do it on this model of cars, the Skoda Octavia Mark IIa 2011 model 1.8 TSI petrol engine. It's the A888 Gen 2 engine that's in it. So I've done a brief video just showing you what to do, kind of thing, to change the spark plugs on it. But the engine will be, it's the same engine that will be going back in. The garage have arranged to do this. It says that they take the engine out and they recondition the actual engine, but the same engine, like, put it back in. It said I'll do what's needed done on it to cure the problem. And there's other things, I'll take it apart, clean all the carpet build up, take the pistons, sort of grade the piston lines, change the timing chain tension and the hydraulic timing chain tension, because if that fails the engine's gone. Supposedly another weakness in the design flaw. This is a popular engine, it's in a lot of the Volkswagen Audi group cars. So millions of cars like that design. That's just going on the research that I've come across that suggests that there is a flaw in the design. But I do know what the problem is with it. My car burns too much oil. I know that for a fact. So it definitely needs addressing. It's got a knock-on effect on other things. But yeah, so I'm heading through just on the M90 now. Just went over the Friar Bridge way back there. So I'm just heading up there. In fact, the other previous episode of the Car Series, Season 3, Episode 2, the last one I done, I was going through Fife, heading for the Edinburgh. I went over the Forth Road Bridge, but this time I'm going, just taking the direct motorway route. So you get the different view down there. You're not going to get much view at the windows unless you put it higher up. Right enough. I might, maybe on the later videos, might put it a bit higher up. You get a view at the back window as well. Yeah, I might do that later actually. See, at the moment there's a big gradient coming up, and it's cruise control at 77 mile an hour. So if it doesn't start to misfire, it's kind of cleared. Sorry, don't quote me on the speech I'm doing, by the way, just forget that, disregard what I said, because it doesn't matter what line of the motorway, the national speed limit is 70, so forget the speed that I'm doing, just say that don't speed, just do the speed limit. So I don't know why I said that. I was just 70 mile an hour is the speed limit, so can't. But I'm just seeing how it performs going up here. It's going up this gradient, so I don't want to push it because it will start misfiring again. But at the same time, I'm in a bit of a, not a rush, but I want to get things done. I've got things to get through the day, so I'm kind of like curing 3 birds with 1 cure. Getting to where I'm going, doing an in-car series video, and then visiting someone as well. So I'm doing quite a bit today, and I'm doing it as efficiently as I can, so I'm able to get the journey done, make a video, visit a mate, go to the bag of rations, and plan things. I try and plan things efficiently to get as much done in a given time. So like I'm doing 2 things at once now, and getting to where I'm going, and also doing a video. So, and then I'll made a plan to visit a mate on the day that I'm going through that direction anyway. So I'm trying to arrange things efficiently. So it's like for one journey, a long trip like this, you can do more. Get as much done as you can. If you're going through doing a long distance, you're as well doing as much in that area on that day, rather than doing multiple long distance trips. And time is of the essence as well. So I said, well, I could even do a video while I'm doing it. So I'm doing an in-car series. The whole purpose of the in-car series video is just to update you on the YouTube channel and what I'm doing and what's coming up and that. This car's actually got up here rather well, by the way. So I'm in 2 minds whether I should bother. I just can't be arsed changing the spark plugs if I don't. I mean, they will be done before I go on holiday, that's for definite, because it's a long trip. It's 500 miles, 505 getting there, because it's from Dundee to Wales, and I've got to be all the driving about when I'm down there as well, plus the trip back. So I'll be definitely changing the plugs before I set off, for sure. But I'll do it at a bit more of a convenient time. I don't want to have to do it while I'm visiting a mate. Like, I'd rather not. I mean, it's running okay at the moment, so I think I'll be alright. It's only just a couple of weeks I'll be going away, so I'll get it done a bit better. I'll change the plugs at earlier time before I go, like, because I don't want to spend my day visiting someone but have to change spark plugs as well. I don't really want to. So I've running through that, I don't want to do that. Like, if it's running alright, so if it's clear for now, it'll be fine for getting back, going via the race wall. So I might just leave it. But if it starts playing up again, I'll just have to change it. I don't really want to do that. That's the problem when an engine burns too much oil. you know, it'll cause these knock-on effect problems, like, you know. The spark plugs that I've put in it are the four electrodes. The previous ones are double electrodes. You had the centre cathode and then you had 2 electrodes. The old standard spark plugs, it was 1 cathode and 1 electrode, and that was it, the spark jump between the 2. And then you get the ones where you have the double electrodes, gives the spark choice of 2 routes. So the electricity will take the shortest path. So the ones that are replaced will put quad electrodes, yeah. So it's got a choice of 4 routes. But even with them, you know, it's fumbling up too much. And burns oil, it'll increase the combustion temperature as well. It overheats the electrodes, cathodes as well, causing the spark plugs to fumble up. Oh, please, shit. Something happened. It's maybe a breakdown on the hard shoulder there. You might just see that, actually. Yeah. Caution. So there's something happened there. That's why, you know, hard shoulder, you're never driving it unless otherwise stated by the road signs. So the weather's a bit shit as usual. Hope it dries up for later on tonight, because as I say, I'll be going to the Kildenbeath Raceway for the 12th of August 2023 2-litre bangers. There's other formulas on as well. You've got the Bristol Formula 2 on tonight, stock car saloons, 2-litre. My favourite formula, the banger racing, of course, 2-litre bangers. And there's also the mini stock. So there's 4 formulas. There's Bristol Formula 2, saloon stock cars, which are good. My favourites, the bangers and mini stocks. And they're on tonight at the race walk. So I'll be going there and I'll be making videos of recording the banger races. That's the one that I'm really going to just focus in on, the bangers, because if I video the whole meeting, you know, it starts at 6 o'clock, finishes at 10, so it's 4 hours. I can't film every race. Yeah. I like the other formulas as well, obviously, but the bangers are the ones that are my favourite. So I'll be spending the video just zooming in on and concentrating on those. So that'll be something else I've got planned for later on today, on my day off from my work. I'll be working hard, well, yeah, I'll be working busy, working 7 days in a row, 4-day week duties, because I'm on a 4-day week rota, which means the 5 days worth of work's compressed into 4 days. So 4 days are longer, you know, because it's basically a week's work. Instead of doing a 5-day week, I do a 4-day week, so 5 days worth of work is compressed into 4 days, so the days are long. But on the run up to like certain shift patterns or rota patterns, I could be doing 7 of these in a row. It's, you know, it's pushing a 70-hour week, 63, 65 hour week, which is a long stretch, you know, for bus driving. That's what I do. So yeah, I've been busy. I had 1 day off there on the Thursday, and I came back working on Friday, and now I'm off for 4 days. So I'm off for today, tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. So I'm out and about getting things done. That's why when you get time off like this, when you work long shifts like what I do, you get virtually bugger all done before it and bugger all done after it, because you're working literally all day. So therefore the days that you've got left, your days off, if the time that you've got left, you've got to compress what you can't do on your working day, you've got to do it on your days off. So you're compressing everything in. So your rest days are actually jam-packed with stuff, catching up with things that you couldn't do otherwise before or after a shift. When I was working regular shifts on the buses, you know, you just do your late, middles and earlies. I was able, like, if I started on an early, I'd be able to do stuff after my shift. But if it was on a late shift, which I do permanently now, I was able, but let's see, remember the late shifts on a 5-day week rota started later, because the buses finish at the same time anyway. So for the 4-day week lates, they've obviously got to start a wee bit earlier. So the duties start earlier on a 4-day week. So you don't get as much done at the start of the 4-day week late shift duty as you would on a 5-day week one, because you can be starting about on a 5-day week one between 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sometimes 4. So you're able to do stuff before the shift, but on a 4-day week duty your late start between 12 and 1 o'clock, so it's less time to do so much. And remember, you finish late, midnight, so you get back home, you can't do nothing after it really. You go to bed, you need your rest, and then when you get up, you're back to work. So you get your day off, right enough, you get an extra day off a week. You work 4 days a week, you get 3 days off. However, as you say, 3 days is filled with things that you couldn't do normally. Just needed to be done if you were on a 5-day week. Because if you were on an early shift, then you could do stuff after the shift. If you were on a late, you could do stuff before it on a 5-day week. Or if you're on a middle, which wasn't very, that was probably the worst one, because you couldn't do an awful lot before the middle. You couldn't do very much after it either. Because a middle shift's start about 10, half 9, 10, 11 o'clock, finish about 7, 8 o'clock, and then you can be working early the next day. So I worked the shift patterns, the shifts on the buses for 12 years, and then changed 13 years actually, 13 years, and then I had the opportunity to change the rollers. I chose to do the 4-day week permanently. So for the last 2 years, I've been in the buses 15 years, so 13 years I was doing regular shifts. The last 2 years I've been on 4-day week permanently. So it's been hard, long days. But I prefer doing late shifts. But it's the whole day, you're working the whole day from 12 in the afternoon till 12 at night. So it's literally the whole day. And I say the shift pattern, you can work 7 of them in a row. 7 days in a row. So it's like not far off a 7-hour week. So let's just say you're absolutely exhausted. When it comes to the rest day, you're absolutely fucked. But then you've still got the stuff to do before. Things you couldn't do that you would have been able to do normally on a regular shift, you've got to do on your rest day. So you're spending your rest day plus doing other things that you would want to do. Like visiting places like today, for instance. That's why I'm doing so much in a winter. I could make a video en route to where I'm going. I could visit my mate, and then I could go with the bangers on the way back. So I've done things in a coordinated things efficiently, so that I'm doing a trip out to Edinburgh and back and able to do 3 things. I can cure 3 birds with 1 cure. So I can make a video, I can visit a mate, and I can go with the bangers on the way back. So you've got to think like that. You've got to utilise your time off efficiently. Otherwise, you don't get anything. You've got to do it, and you've got to rest, because it is a rest day. And I'm allowed to legally drive, obviously, but I couldn't drive if you're on tachograph work and you're on a rest day. You couldn't drive for professionally for making money, for a living. I could drive a bus on. As a hobby for the bus club and museums, that's okay, because it's not collecting fares. I'm not doing it as a professional, taking money. I wouldn't be allowed to. I think that's how it works. You've got to work within the domestic hours. There's tachographs and driver's hours and stuff as well. I could drive my car, no bother. I could drive the bus if I was for a bus museum, no bother at all on the rest days. But because I work service buses in the city centre, it's basically on domestic hours, so the roller can be started to up. End up domestic, but it's a good course to be started with that. So a 12 bus, this car's missing down there. Bloody hell. Oh, look at this, hellish, this. That's the light was on Max. So what you do in weather like this is you just slow right down, the brake distance, increase your brake distance, make sure your lights are on as well, which you weren't anyway. That cars, some of them front don't have lights on. Visibility is piss poor. So you need visibility, you know, you've got to be all to be seen. Even though it's light, daylight, visibility is shit. You need to have your external lights on. If you've got a white car, like some of them in this, it's harder to see it than a car that's lit up. And this is on the motorway. It's fast moving traffic. You know, I see loads of cars that aren't lit up. But they're like this. So, it's bloody awful. But as I say, when the weather turns like this, you just got to slow right down. You know, you drive according to conditions. You just keep doing braking distance, reset. Just, you know, come off the speed a bit. Drive according to conditions, that's the rule of thumb, isn't it? That was some weather, that. Jeez. Bloody hell. I just hope it's going to be like this later on tonight, like. But I've always go prepared there. When I go to banger racing and events, outdoor events like that for hours on end, I always, doesn't matter what the weather's like, if it's sunny, raining, whatever, I'll always take my waterproof slippers. I'll always go prepared, always. So my rucksack in the back there's got all the stuff, the waterproofs. I don't trust the weather. I could leave the house, it could be blown dry, it could be a cloud in the sky, it could be sunny. I'll still take the waterproof wears. I just don't trust the weather. Don't trust it one bit. So I always go prepared. Always. You know, it's happened before and I thought, I can only need them, I'll just leave them in the house. I'll just leave it in the house. I'll be fine. It's a nice day, it's splendid pavements. Get there, later on it pushes me rain and we caught out of here. So I've learnt my lesson now. Never again. So there's a tip if you're going on an outdoor event and it looks good, the weather looks great, promising, just take your waterproofs, just go prepared, be prepared for the worst because the weather can change like that. As you can see, it's sunny now, you wouldn't think it was raining. As I say, the weather changes more and more. I've mentioned it before, the micro weather's just... I mentioned that, the weather is just crazy lately. It really is. But, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying before that. The buses, the shifts and that. It's, as I said, the hours, drivers' hours. There's two sort of industries. Well, same industry, the bus industry, but you've got the bus service work, like driving round about the city centres, and you've got coaching. If you're driving coaches, you need to have the tachograph training for your hours. You've got to take care of the hours, like European hours and shit like that. But if you're driving buses in the city, like city buses, you get a rota, a duty book. Well, you used to get a duty book, it's not anymore, it's all done on digital. So you get an app now, you've got to go in there and get your duties off of that, it's all done digitally. So they do the hours for you. So, but you are allowed to do overtime. So you work your hours and you're allowed to do overtime as well. So, but even though you do your weeks, your weekly driving for now, your hours, you're allowed to drive overtime. And I think the computer that they've got, I think it's a system where they know whether, the clock, the number of hours that you work with that. So, not far from the bridge, Forth Roads bridges, getting there. I mean, look at this, the weather's just, it's actually dry here. A couple of miles back, it was pissing down as you saw. Look at it now. You might see the Forth Road bridge in the distance there on the right, just like, well, maybe not very clear on there. As I say, this is an in-car series, so therefore the camera is pointing in-car. It's not like some of the videos that I made, like for example, if you've already seen it, the point-to-point challenges that me, Kane and Stroon do. The three of us do the point-to-point challenge where we got to go from one point to another point, going via checkpoints. We make our own routes, we've all got our own cars, and we've got to see who gets to the finishing point first, without speeding and racing, of course. It's just for fun, and we're meant to record the journeys, take selfies at the checkpoints to prove that we're there. So I've done a few of them already though. the camera just points forward or whatever, you know. But I don't sometimes revert the polarity on it either, so I just leave it as it is. So it would look like you're driving a left-hand drive car, but because this is in-car, I'll revert the polarity. So anyway, I've got a bus rallies coming up this month as well, the Thomond Bus Museum. That'll be getting footage of that. Some buses, old vintage buses. I lost speed here, this is speed camera, but so I think, yeah, Thomond. So that's coming up before my holiday to Wales. The Welsh holiday, I've got a few things to do. Going down towards the Swansea area, I'm going to have a look at that. Videos, that. Going to visit Alton Towers on the way back home. Obviously I'll visit Alton Towers and then I'll spend the night. Travel is what I do when I do my holidays like that. As I've been taking the car and going and visiting places around the UK, I tend to spend the night in the travel lodges, and even ones that are near the motorway. That's cheaper for one, because as I say, it's just the roof over your head. It does not. I don't really spend my time in a hotel. I just use it as a base for coming home and getting some, you know, a roof over my head for the night. Something reasonably decent, tidy and clean and the price that I can afford and convenient. Because when I go on holiday, I spend my time out and about. So travel lodges at the motorways. I've got 2 of them booked for the Welsh holiday. Because I won't be driving from Dundee right down to Wales in a winter to Swansea in a winter. So about 500 miles, not doing that. So I've booked one halfway down to break the journey up on the M6, and then I've got another one booked on the M4 near the Swansea. There's a few travel lodges on these motorways, so I've got them booked. And M4's a big long stretch of motorway, so there's a few, but I've managed to book one nearby. So I've got all that organised, detailed. But obviously I don't need to mention all the exact details, it's just to give you an idea what I'm doing, to give you an area that's on the motorways. The motorways got loads of hotels, so I've got one of them on the motorways. It's just to make it easier, because you can book one in the centre of the places, but some places will spend a lot more, and it's more of a faff getting in and out, you know, with the traffic. But and parking as well can be a bit of a pain. So I tend to book them out with several areas, and I'll just travel in on the day off and find somewhere, you know, public out. I'm not keen on, you know, spending a lot on parking and mucking about with busy traffic in the central areas. No, I'm not keen on that. Well, it's handy if I'm taking the bus or the train into places, like the occasions when I went down to London. Central travel lodges and stuff like that are useful for that reason. If you're driving, and it's better off you one on the outskirts and then use that as your base. Yeah. But I'll be getting that video. Oh, I'm actually quite tired, to be honest with you. I'm actually exhausted. I'm fine to drive, I'm fine for the day, and actually having a rest, because I'm just sitting up, I'm not working, I'm just leisurely out on the boat. I'm not under any pressure. You see, when you're working, driving the bus, pressures I would be, you know, that's worth mentioning, is you're under a timetable, so you're under time limits. You've got a lot of things to consider. So some people say I could just sit driving, but what they don't know, what do they know? They don't drive buses. Let's just say that they don't. So for some that know, you know, bugger all about driving buses. I haven't actually done it, and just think that, oh, I could just sit and driving all day. You know, could you get tired doing that? Well, believe you me, it's not so much physically tiring, but it's mentally tiring. It's mentally exhausting. So, but like the day in driving, I know, and probably know my videos already. For Busman's Holiday, I like travelling on buses, and I'll drive the buses for the museum. But it's at my own leisure, so there's no stress whatsoever. So there's no stress whatsoever today driving, because I'm just at my own leisure. So and resting, and not under any obligation to be at a certain time. I've obviously arranged to see my mate at the time I said I get through, but I'm not under any pressure, real pressure, if you know what I mean. So it's not, so I'm resting, but I'm not snoring. So I'm obviously still driving, if you know. But it's easy. I don't feel pressured, so I'm relaxed. So although I'm still driving, and you've got to be just as alert as every, you know, your alert level's got to remain constant throughout, regardless as to what state you're in. If you're driving, because when you're driving, you've always got to be alert. Just because you're tired doesn't mean the traffic will be less relentless. You know what I mean? You've got to be just as aware, regardless, always, everything, and all others, all the time, permanently. You've got to maintain a high level, constant level when you're driving, regardless. But it's easier because I'm not under any pressure, so and just enjoy my day. So it's a lot to get done. I'll be quite looking forward to the banger racing tonight. The holiday, it's my summer holidays coming up at the end of the month, so I've got my 2 weeks off. I think. So we're going to try that Alton Towers. Well, no, I've booked it. I'm going to Alton Towers, big theme park. Going to do the roller coasters and that. I'll not be able to film that, unfortunately. I wouldn't be allowed to film anything if I'm on the rides, because you can't hold anything. You can't. Everything's got to be tucked in. You know, all your bags, you've got to leave them. So I won't be able to film that. But they do filming for you. But you pay a fortune. Well, the last time I was there years ago, they took a picture of you when you were going down the Oblivion roller coaster, the big drop, and you got your photo taken, and then you pay a fortune for it, and then they'll print it all off. I don't know if we'll do that. Like, it's a bit of a gimmick, to be honest. If it were cheaper, then sure, but they're bloody expensive. You know what I mean? I'm not wasting money on shit like that. No way. If it was something like a reasonable price, you know, if it was a couple of quid or something, yeah, sure. But no, I think the last time what was it now? I'd done it once, and that was it. I've still got it. I think it was about a tenner or something. It was just ridiculous. I mean, already spending a fortune getting it, and then you got to spend money at park. Then you're prompted into getting all these fancy pictures, and they cost a bloody fortune, you know. So I'm not prepared to just waste money like that. It's just, if it was to say a couple of quid, I would do that. But anyway, that's not the main holiday. It's Wales. But it's been ages since I've been to Wales. I've only been to Wales once in my life, and that was in 2005. I drove all the way down to Aberystwyth, I think. Aberystwyth. It's right on the west coast of Wales. Well, there's only one coast in Wales, the Welsh coast. This is the west coast of the UK. It was Aberystwyth. So that's pushing 20 years ago. 18 years ago was the last time, the one and only time I've been to Wales. And that's when I drove down in the old Mark III Astra that I had. Bulletproof car that was. God, I've been in the clock nearly 3 times. 260 or 270,000 miles. 270. That's over 250,000 miles I was on that car before it was finished. But the same engine, same gearbox, same clutch. It was bulletproof. But it was 21-year-old. The rust was just, that was a killer. I just killed it. It was going to cost too much, you know, to repair. So by that point, I given it to my dad. He got the last 5 years out of it. Like, I had it. Well, I was in a family for 12 and a half years. 7 of that, 8 years of that was I had it. I bought the car when it was about 8 years old for 600, just over 600 quid back in 2003, and I had about 73,000 miles on the clock, and it was it? It's a 1.4 petrol engine, Mark III Astra, 8 valve. It was a bulletproof car, bulletproof engine. It was a bit rugged. It was a tough engine, you know. I clocked up all these miles, and it just kept going. But the age of the car, getting bits for it was a problem. And it came through the MOT. There was just too much being done. The age, rust, and that. My dad decided, oh, that was enough. Got another car. So when I finished with it, I gave it to my dad. It was 16-year-old. I think I'd done about 150,000 on it or something. And my dad done another 30 or 40,000 or something miles on the clock. But by the time I was scrapped anyway, it was somewhere in the region of about 270,000 miles on the clock, and it still had the same engine, same gearbox and same clutch. The car hadn't been, it was original, and I paid virtually bugger all for it. £640 back in 2003 would only be a little bit more than what it's worth now, so it was fairly cheap. But I had been I'd done research into the car. I always liked knowing the history of the car. I had been in a small category C write-off bump, so I'd been in a bump, but that was years before I owned it. But it was not serious, like. But I think that's the sort of things that reduce the value. I mean, I'm happy to take a car that's sound, you know, it's legally sound and not fussy. So last it done me well. I had that car everywhere, all corners of the UK, all the islands as well, apart from the Orkney Isles, Ireland, everywhere. I'd driven everywhere in that car. And it was a good car. My mates and that had it loaded up and everything in the Brunnels, and it still went no bother. You know, it's a bulletproof car. It was probably the toughest car I had. The ones before it were alright. They were the first couple of cars I bought were just bangers, were just heaps. But the first good car was the Mark II Astra, but then I got written off because somebody rammed right into the back of it. So that was the end of that one. Then I got an Escort Mark V. Then I got the Astra Mark III, then I had the Astra Mark IV, and then I got this one. So I had an Escort Mark III to start, that was my first car. It was just a banger. Then I had a Montego 2 litre MG, that was a banger as well. But it was a powerful car, like, yeah. And then I got the first decent car, the Mark II Astra, and I got written off because, as I say, somebody drove right in the back. I was in it, and my mates were in it, and it was a bit of a bump. Whiplash, well, we're alright though, we survived, so we'll say. But it wasn't nice. That was the end of that car. The Escort, then I got the Mark III Astra, Mark IV Astra, then I got this one. As I say, I just buy things and keep them till they literally run at the ground. People comment on my phone cover, I mean, that says it all. I just use it until it wears out completely. I don't see the point in having to change something because it's got to keep up with the Joneses and all this kind of carry on. And, you know, I just run the things in and get the, it's much value. It's like when I'm drinking a can of juice or something. I'll drink it until I get every last drop. I'll get every, you know, you'll hear us do that. I'll get every last drop out. So I've always sort of been like that. But yeah, it's Inverkeithing on the left, by the way. I think it's coming up for the original fourth rail bridge, which you will see. Well, I will, but unfortunately, because of the way the camera is, you're not going to be wide enough to get the angle in for it. I would like to show you that, but you see the original fourth road bridge as well. Unfortunately, I cannot touch that device to show you when I'm driving, but I have got videos on my channel earlier of them. Look at the North Queens Ferry and South Queens Ferry videos. I've got good footage of the bridges, the fourth road bridges on there. I say the in-car series are just easy, brief videos. They're not, it's not really like the ones where I can show you much. It's just more an update on my channel, just telling you what's going on and how I'm getting on and what's happening, what plans I've got. Like the point-to-point series, trying to promote that a bit more as well. Lately, you might have seen a couple of those I put up. It's Struan Jennings' idea. He's got his own channel, So I collaborated with him, and Kieran as well, he's a contender. And we do a fancy dress, funny one, the comedy one as well. We Gregor's. Gregor's. Just a fancy, funny character. Like, we might be, it's a bit of a spin off, we might even do a spin off of it, like, and so it's just for the laugh. But the other idea is we were thinking of walkie-talkies for it. So I'd be sitting in my car with a walkie-talkie and speaking to each other while we're doing the point-to-point challenges. It was Strange Energy's idea. It's to resemble something like what they did with the Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson, James May and Richard Hammond. You know, that's what he had in mind, and I thought, oh, that'd be great. I used to watch that as well. Kind of Top Gear kind of thing, like, you know, the walkie-talkies and stuff. But yeah, we'll definitely be up for that. So we're just coming to the Queen's Ferry crossing. Fortunately, bloody traffic has been just going very slow. Bloody traffic. I hate traffic. Just can't be bothered with it. So as I say, going back to Kilbeath, I'll be heading back that way by the VA Fife way. And I'll be getting videos of that as well. So. Other things I want to do on my channel, I'm going to get back up and running again, is the explorations, you know, the Delhi Mountains and stuff like that. I'll definitely be getting more videos made of that. I've been doing a lot of lives as well, not a lot, but I've been doing some live streaming. So this would have been ideal, but unfortunately when you do a live stream, it's not good for the picture when you're moving. The picture just pixelates. It's a bit more nerve-wracking as well. I don't know if I'd do a live stream while there's so much going on as well, because let's just say there's no rewind button on a live stream. I've got to be extra careful with these things, because I don't want things being inadvertently captured on my videos anyway. So if you're out and about in this sort of environment, it's not probably a good idea, because I've got no control of what goes on out there. You know, and I can't, as I say, on this I can just edit it out. If something happens up my head I don't want shown, I can just easily edit it out. With a live stream you can't. So the live streams that I've done lately, I've picked, you know, convenient, comfortable spots for them. Like, I've done a live stream actually at South Queen's Ferry, the South Queen's Ferry. See the way that range just came on there? It just came on like a switch. That's just incredible. Just like that. I mean, the weather is barmy. Absolutely barmy. You just saw it. I was on camera, you saw that. It just came on there just suddenly, right? But I was just going to say before that happened, actually, if you look to the left, see the bridge is split. Fortunately, oh well, it's coming off there. That weather is just, it's absolutely mental. It's not how it used to be. Lately, the weather's been changing. I've mentioned this many times before on the channel. When I say that, I mean it's sort of like as if it's being controlled. Like it's artificial and micro weathers, experimental. It's like that, saying that's what it is. It's just saying that's what comes to. That's just what I think. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that it's bloody bizarre because never saw a lot of behaviour like this until fairly recently. Not just today's examples, there's many different types of examples of bizarre weatherness that I could mention. But yeah, other things I've been doing I've been quite a bit of bus spotting lately as well. Went through to Glasgow, just on my day on that Thursday past there, Wednesday that I had off. After 7 days ago, I went, took the Flixbus through, Flixbus coach. It was video on that as also earlier on the channel. Then I tried out the McGill's Mercedes-Benz Citaro single deck buses on the 901 and 906 Clyde Flyer routes that run from Sorry, I was too busy blethering here. I was just worried in case I took the wrong. I've got to watch what lanes I'm in here because I could easily take the wrong exit. I've done that many times and ended up having it takes ages doubling back, especially when I sit in traffic. So I do not want to be doing that. I want to be staying in the right lane and getting off at the right exit. It could cost a hell of a lot of time out when sitting in a lot of traffic for a mistake to double back. That's happened many times before. It's not nice. So I don't want to be doing that again. It's just like what lane I've got to be in here. I know it's happening. I forgot what was I saying. What was I saying before? Forgot what was I saying before? Come as it is, forgot. Bloody hell, something on the road there. I don't know if you saw that. It was like a kind of metal with two hooks on it, and that car tyre went over it. I thought I was going to go flying. You see, if that hits your windscreen, come on, what is me? Motorbikes, see, motorbikers. If somebody was on a motorbike, something like that flew up and hit them, I'd hate the thought of that. Oh my god, there's debris on the road. Right, I've got to pay attention. What the fuck? Too busy yapping away. What was I saying? Aye, bus spotting, aye. I've tried out the Mercedes-Benz Citaros. McGill's. That's the parent company to Explore Dundee. And they run buses from Greenock to Largs. Glasgow to Largs, sorry. Back again. That's one of the routes anyway that these buses are on. And I've got a video of that. I've put it up already. Footage inside it, you get to hear it. You can see what it looks like outside and inside. It's a Mercedes 7.7 litre engine, ZF gearbox. Quite plush actually, quite nice inside. Quite nippy, quite fast as well, these buses. Because as I say, they're kind of like a kilty bus, so it's not just a city bus, although it looks like a city bus sort of kind of inside. It's got up-spec seats, you know, with the high backs on them. The engine power will be uprated so they can get up to motorway speeds quickly. Whereas the service bus is just mainly limited at top speed of 50 mile an hour. Because the service bus is a city bus, you know, city buses are just normally limited at about 50 mile an hour because most of the time they're just spent doing city work. You know, occasionally they'll go out to town. Whereas the county buses not like that. They've got to get up to speed 7 mile an hour, 65 mile an hour, something like that. So it isn't quite as coach spec, it's not like a coach, but it has got the sort of similar performance to a coach, but the bodywork inside's more like a bus, you know, they're easy to get in. They don't have any luggage as such. There's a very small luggage compartment on the roof, but just a couple, you know, a shelf, that's it. It's this fairly short shelf above the buggy area. It's the highest bit of the roof. well, I should say the lowest bit of the floor, because the roof level's the same height, constantly the same level, but the floor varies. It starts off low at the front and then as it raises, the floor raises at the back. Typically on any single deck, low floor single deck bus, with engines at the back. But the low floor bits for these passengers getting in and out buggies and stuff, so the front of the bus, the floor's lower down. So the gap between the floor and the roof's at its highest. At the back, obviously the floor's raised. It starts to raise up at a ramp level. Some of it was a step to allow for the engine and gearbox. So the distance between the floor and the roof is much shallower at the back. So, generally on a low floor single deck. Prior to that, prior to the low floor coming out, low floor buses, which is around about the 90s, early 90s, prior to that the levels were fairly the same. You had a couple of steps to get in. Take for example the Volvo B10M City Bus single decker. The engine's in the middle, under the floor, so the floor's fairly high up. So you've got 2 steps to get in. Some of these 2 or 3 steps to get in. You've got to climb to get up to get into the bus. And then the floor level's the same all the way up. Because it's there's not low floor spec. That's pre-low floor buses. Like the little Leopard buses, well, that was another example. It was mid-engine, horizontal engine. Mid-engine, the buses with engines were horizontal, obviously, so you know, there's sort of clearance. You can have a vertical engine. So we're in Edinburgh now, Queen's Ferry Road. I won't be videoing right to where I'm going. I'll stop the video short of that, but I'll show you a little bit of Edinburgh. So I might even just change the plugs if it's it doesn't look as though it's pissing me rain. I might just do it anyway, just for the sake. But then I don't know. I'll probably just leave it. My car performed okay going back. So I'll get the plugs changed before I set off on the holiday anyway, but it seemed to have ran fine. It must have cleared itself, but the problem's still there, obviously. You know, it's an underlying fault. No, I threw here to visit my mate. I'm not going to spend quality time doing that. I can't be arsed. So I think I got through it. I ran fine. The car ran fine, so I'll just leave the plugs. I'll do it at a later date before my holiday. I think that's what I'll do. If it starts playing up on the way back, then I'll just do it sooner than later. But it's that problem will hopefully be cured completely when I put the engine in for its main overhaul soon, next month, after my holiday. Now I've got to remember where am I turning up this one. I think it's this one, isn't it? So when I'm yapping away, kind of like, it's so easy to miss the turning, blethering away like with mates in the car. Sometimes many a times when I'm going somewhere, I've been yapping away and forgotten, I've fucking gone past it, and it's so annoying, you know. Sometimes you just got to say, look, I've just got to remember. Maybe let's set it up that way. I know where I am now. Especially in Edinburgh, because it's a bloody nightmare. When you get into the centre of Edinburgh, Jesus Christ, the traffic there is unbelievable. It's mental. I thought, well, London, I've driven to London, you know what that's like. I've done a video on that. But if you could drive in London, you could drive anywhere. Let's put it like that. I thought Edinburgh was better, but London, oh man, it's mental in there. I don't know how the bus drivers could work around there. I just don't know how they could do it. Oh. You look at my videos, it's I've done videos on that on my England excursion holidays. It's a 7-part series. I've done that spring this year, so there's quite a few videos back, but it's called the England excursion episodes. 7 of them. That's when I went. It included London, but it also included Jeremy Clarkson's, that's Top Gear presenter, well, ex-Top Gear presenter, Grand Tour now, but was well known for Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson. If you don't know who he is, obviously, but sure you'll know. But he had the farm, Jeremy Clarkson's farm, Well, I went to his other video on that. What else? Mend Mark as well. He's a famous YouTuber. He's a well-known YouTuber. Does repairs on vintage stereos and stuff like that. I put in an amplifier, a vintage amplifier too. But I also visited him in person. I was able to do a video of his workshop himself. That's also on my England excursion series. I think it was episode 1. That one. So it'll be EE1. That's a few videos back. I've done it in spring this year. But, so we're going up. Let's see, I'll know where I'm going. I'll just show you a wee bit of Edinburgh, but that's it. I'm going to have to probably stop the video fairly soon because it's about an hour, so that's not bad. That's an hour huddle in the car. You can sit back and wherever you're watching it, you see a wee bit of the journey on the air, some of the mental. Now this is just ridiculous, by the way. See these lanes, these cycle lanes? That is just nuts. I've done a video on that as well. I just cannot understand how on earth they could justify that. What's the car supposed to do? The lane just suddenly gets so narrow for the road and so wide for the cyclist, but a bollard. So what's the car's? How the car's going to not encroach into that cycle lane? It's impossible. I highlighted that on a video. I can't remember when it was, but it was a couple of years ago, I think. That just annoyed me. It still does because the road layout there just doesn't make any sense. You get aggravated by it. But apart from that, there's a Volvo on the right. That's a Volvo Integral bus, 7900 city bus, hybrid. 7900 Volvo 7900. The one up in front there's Gemini Mark 3 or Gemini 3 bodywork Volvo B5 TL, and here the itch Volvo B5 itch TL, which is hybrid. There's another one on the right as well, on Clarewood. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm not overly keen on the Gemini 3 thing. I'm not a big fan of that design of bodywork. The right Gemini, not my favourite. Not my favourite. I wouldn't design it like that. I wouldn't particularly, not a big fan of it. Yeah. The earlier ones I liked, the Mark 1 design Gemini, they were okay, they were quite good. But I'm not keen on that design. It's only a V5 litre engine as well. It's a Volvo. See that Volvo bit's integral, and not integral with the right. It's Volvo does the under frame or the subframe chassis. They've got their bit. This is the V5, Volvo B5. But it's a hybrid, parallel hybrid. So some of them are anyway. Some of them I think are just 5s. It's amazing that they can squeeze so much power out of a 5 litre engine these days. It's only a 4-cylinder as well, I believe. Yeah, well, this is North Drumbury Road anyway, so there's a few roads to get to that I've got to drive yet before I get to my destination, but I'll stop somewhere just randomly to round off the video. As I say, I'm not filming right to where I'm going, but there's lots of places where I'll stop. And, bloody roadworks. So obviously there's no option but to go in the bus lane because obviously the roadworks unless otherwise told. You know, there's times that I've get a lot of driving bus lanes, but I'm not a local here. I don't know like the back of my hand. The locals will. They read all the times when you're driving along with so much going on. It's quite a challenge. So if you're not sure, just steal them. That's the way I do it. But thinking about going to test. No, I was going to think about going to test, but I want to leave that till later. The thing is, with Edinburgh, the circles and traffic here. If you see an opportunity, you just got to take it. The traffic here is just, see, relentless. Just every man for himself sometimes here. I don't often drive this road, so That's an earlier Gemini bodywork there. That's a Volvo B9 by the way, Volvo B9 TL. The earlier Geminis are better looking. The earlier bright Gemini bodywork buses are better looking. I quite like them actually. The chassis is it's a Volvo B9 TL. That's a straight 6-cylinder 9-litre engine. There's no hybrids or any electrics, any electric drive propulsion systems on the model. It's just a straight diesel, just pure diesel engine basically. ZF gearbox. Or is that Voith? No, it's ZF. I'm sure it's ZF. Edinburgh did have Voith transmission, Volvo B7 RLEs, B7 TLs, Volvo B7 TLs with Voith transmissions. Some of their earlier buses that had the earlier Gemini bodyworks on them as well. The Dundee ones had the 54 plate, that one, like Gemini bodywork, Volvo B7 TLs with the ZF gearbox, 5-speed. Then they got the 06 plate, just transferred up from Birmingham, so the 6-speed gearboxes in them. ZF 6-speed box, and because of this Uly's shite, this ultra low emission zone, a lot of the buses are no longer able to comply when they bring this crap out in Dundee. That's just my view anyway, by the way. But that's just my view. It's my video and my view, and I just say my view. Everybody's got their own views to Uly's, but personally I just think it's a freedom destroyer. Don't like the idea of it, but that's my view of it. I hate Uly's ultra low emission zone crap. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to pull in here because it's quite I've still got a bit to go yet. So I'm going to pick an appropriate place to end the video where it's I can just then get to where I'm going. I'll just be concentrating on where I'm going, but I'm going to switch off the video here. I'm going to round it off here. I've still got a bit to go yet, but I'm not going to bother recording that. I'll just pick this random spot, and so that's an hour long, so that's probably long enough for a wee huddle in the car video for you, and in car it's probably more than long enough. So that was really it, just a wee update what I'm doing. Took you on a wee huddle. I've got things to get on with now. Right, see what else put on my channel. Okay, bye for now, see you later.